Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's morning musings is all about dichotomies. I'm doing a series of morning musings, and I am using posts from my blog, Adventures in Density and Effort, as inspiration. Now, I wrote these a while ago, and the world has changed dramatically in the last few years. So, as I'm reading, if I encounter something that seems out of date, or I have had more revelations, I will interrupt myself and give you the most up-to-date information. Also, when I get to the very end, if need be, I will summarize the topic based on what's going on in the world today. And also, I have some special offers for you, so stay tuned to the very end and see what they are. Dichotomies in Adventures in Density and Effort. Looking at the emotions expressed around the world because of this is how old this is. Obama becoming president of the US, I thought we had to get so low for it to swing to the other extreme. The joy we're all experiencing because of the inauguration wouldn't have come if we hadn't experienced the last 8 or 16 years. I wrote this on the 20th January 2009, and it was the experience that we had of having the G.W. Bush administration. We went through 9/11 with G.W. Bush at the helm. So we've been through a similar experience after having Trump in the pandemic. But if you think about it, 9/11 impacted our country and impacted New York, but the pandemic impacted the entire world as well as our country. So it's kind of like we went through a really shocking and devastating experience with someone who was inept at the helm back then when I was writing. And we also went through it more recently. Where am I? Okay, so if we hadn't experienced the last 8 or 16 years, this is a planet of dichotomies and of extremes. Adventures in Density and Effort describes my belief of what life on Earth is all about. I believe we are spirit manifesting in this reality for the fun of experiencing the opposite of who we are. Spirit is immortal, eternal, and all-knowing. It is the cosmic internet. In the non-physical realm, there is no time. Everything is happening all at once, and no space. Everything is unity. There are no negative emotions. It is all joy. What would be fun or entertaining for spirit who has everything? To create a reality to experience dichotomies, limitations, and the opposite. Physical reality is density. There are atoms and molecules, and energy moves slowly or quickly. There's physical space and distance. There's passage of time, cycles of days and of seasons. Our vehicle in this realm is our body, which experiences effort to move its muscles, a life cycle of birth, growth, and death, emotions of all colors, physical sensations of cold and heat, and each body has a unique personality to go with it. To one who is all that is, it is really quite delightful to be many different things. I'm going to stop myself there just with an interesting query because I've updated my experience of what I would say, the all that is to being consciousness. And so I probably would take, when I said to one who is all that is, it implies that it's like a single entity, and it's not. It's not even an entity. You can't even describe it as intelligence. It's consciousness. So to all that is, it's really quite delightful to be many different things. Working on that. As spirit, you signed up for a road trip through life and chose different elements and stopping points along the way. Since you didn't have a body yet, you didn't have the considerations of pain and discomfort. From spirit's perspective, the harder, the better. The more capable spirit chooses, the more challenging lifetime. I'm just noticing the tinges of distorted perspective when I'm trying to explain this. So it's not really the harder the better, but it's more like from the perspective of consciousness as you are creating the basic script for this lifetime. It's more fun and exciting to create something more challenging. It's a little bit like being an author where you are putting your character into really painful and difficult situations. And as the author, you're not thinking about it yourself. You're just having the fun or interesting experience of writing the story, but going out there and getting yourself all beaten up and bruised. But the more capable spirit chooses the more challenging lifetimes. And I have said that a lot. I have family members who've had really painful, difficult physical challenges, illnesses, painful losses. And the way you can look at it is kind of like from being an actor who is getting ready to win an Oscar from the incredible role that they went through. And they might have actually, broken bones and had really painful experiences doing it. And so consciousness has a tremendous neutrality about all of this, that when we are in our body with our personality, experience this pain and discomfort, we are not having neutrality about this at all. Okay, so I go on to say, so you signed up to have a dysfunctional family, a crazy or alcoholic parent, to experience a traumatic childhood, a painful relationship or relationships, difficult job situations, all with great enthusiasm and excitement. I will have to say, yes, there is great enthusiasm and excitement. This world of density and effort is like a playground. It's like Disney World. It is like swim time for us as consciousness getting into physical form. It kind of reminds me of watching my kids play at the beach, and I'm in the Northwest. If you fall into the Puget Sound in 15 minutes, you'll get hypothermia. So I could not understand why my kids would love to run into the beach, especially after like a big tanker had gone by and we were experiencing the gentle surf of the wake that was propelled by the tanker that had gone, 10 minutes before. My kids were throwing themselves into that Puget Sound. It was so cold. That would not be fun for me, but they were having the time of their life. So it's kind of sort of that kind of idea, not for everybody. Here you are as consciousness, you're signing up for this incredible storyline. And once you're born, you go, WTF, this is miserable. I don't like it. Get me out of here. And that's all from the perspective of the body and the personality. As spirit, you're still having a whale of a time. Any challenge that you create within you is the ability to overcome it, not from the body personality perspective, but from your essential self. Here I say spirit, I would say consciousness now. If you listen to someone complaining about their problems and you just want to get in there and help them, you offer these suggestions for how to make things easier and they're like, oh, it's much worse than that. You realize that as spirit, they are boasting about how capable they are. It's like an actor that's taken on a really juicy role. Now you have a chance to approach things differently. Once you operate with the awareness that you are your essential self, you are spirit, you are consciousness, the rules change. This world isn't a school. There aren't grades you have to go through or lessons that you have to learn, although it seems like there are skills you need to acquire, but it's actually a playground, a virtual reality game. Effort doesn't work on this level. Trying hard doesn't work. It's a much more subtle navigational system. Law of attraction is one way to describe it, but many people filter the law of attraction through their body personality perspective of effort. It's like trying to fly with water wings. Inner change creates outer change. It's changing your energy within that alters your outer reality. This is your hologram, and you've forgotten that you're the one that programs the computer. However, you are the projection machine. All the images come from you. De-energize those pictures and things become brighter and clearer and more fun. So I invite you to reframe your perception of the world, and surely it will reframe your experience of it. So I do have a summary of this because 2009, man, so many things have changed and happened since then. And one of the things that I've observed is that we have been going through an evolution of consciousness. We have become more and more and more aware, embodied as consciousness, more sensitive. We're exhibiting all these experiences of consciousness. Highly sensitive people are experiencing highly conscious abilities. So we're all more empathic. We feel other people's feelings. We're all more precognitive. People will know things are coming up before they're coming up. We're more tuned into the unseen. So navigating this reality now does take a more subtle navigational system. That is also why when things are dramatic and creating a lot of effort, we're also reacting to it more because it is so polar opposite from what our inner inclination is. So I would say that being aware that this is a planet of dichotomies, and what we're seeing all around us are a lot of polar opposites, and how to navigate this world more easily and effortlessly and experiencing a lot less pain while you're doing it is to shift your perspective to that of consciousness. You are the conscious awareness that is navigating this reality, not your body or your personality, not the scared and frightened horse or the person gripping the steering wheel, but the being, the consciousness awareness that has the bigger picture of all the possible routes to take as you're navigating through this lifetime. And it also allows you to be more gentle and loving to your horse as well. So I invite you to reframe your perspective, and it'll surely reframe your experience of it as well. So if you've had experiences like this, please leave a comment below. I'd love to read your comments. If you like these videos, please hit the thumbs icon and like them. You can also click the bell icon to subscribe. And this tells YouTube to share this more with other people around the world. This information is so important to get out there. So please help me do that. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I offer individual sessions that take a look at you, the essence of who you are, and what's going on in your life today. And then I can answer any questions you might have, whether to do with the past or the future, relationships, money, jobs, anything like that. And also, if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, well, first of all, there's a free sample down below of one of my consciousness techniques. It's called the skybox technique. So that's a way of having a bigger picture and reframing your experience in the world. And then on my website, I have a coaching special right now where you can have some individual sessions with me, and I give you more consciousness techniques so that you can transform your life. So go to my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you tomorrow in another Morning Musings.